Hello YouTube, my name is Sly. Welcome to my channel. I hope you enjoy this reaction. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Without further ado, here we go.
You know, I've been thinking lately, right? The whole Cinder thing. I mean, I know she messed up. I'm not trying to defend her for that. But how much do we actually know because of her significant other slash manager, right? We don't know what goes on behind closed doors. For all we know, she could be telling the truth about that part and it could be a manipulator. But who's to say? That's just my speculation. I mean, what she did was there's no excuse for what she did, really. Okay, let's see what we got next. Like I said, I wasn't trying to defend her on that. Just something I've been thinking about lately. Because she tried to deflect and whatnot. I just made me wonder how much of that deflection is kind of true. You know, let's see if I find something good for us to check out. Let's see. Usually, I have this all set up before I start. Kind of going on the fly here because uh, I had something unexpected come up before stream if I got a late start. Oh, what's this? Speaking of Cinder, I think I found that's something new. Uh,
I'll be
it's something new that just popped up to my feed. It's about Cinder, so let's check it out. Sounds interesting. It is how Cinder changed the VTV community. That'd be interesting to see. Noxaura Nix. Or Noxaura. I wonder if that's Nux in disguise, do you think? I don't want you to get the wrong idea. I wasn't trying to defend Cinder earlier. Like I said, her actions were undefendable on that. It just something that made me wonder, that's all. Alright, let's see how Cinder changed the VTV community by Nuxnor and Nix.
I'll be honest. I'm nervous to make this video, but I'm
Uh-huh.
seeing a huge shift in the Vtubing community that I feel needs to be discussed. This is not so much about the actual situation that occurred with Cinder, but the
Alright, I just didn't want you to take it the wrong way. Some people do. Especially the way things have been going lately in the VTuber community with all the doxing and whatnot. I just didn't want to be taken the wrong way, you know? No, I wasn't trying to defend or anything. I'm interested to see what she has to say, though. It sounds interesting so far.
consequences that have followed as a result of
Uh-huh.
it. If you want to know what happened, there are plenty of
Well,
other
we pretty
creators
much
that
know what
have
happened.
covered it already. What I want to focus on is the change of dynamics. The VTubing
Okay.
community has never had a stellar reputation. Many would often refer to it as a high school clique, and a handful of VTubers even refuse to call themselves VTubers so they don't have to be associated with the community.
Wouldn't that be considered a tourist? Alright, they're in the VTuber sphere, but don't consider themselves VTubers. I hate to call them tourists, but that's pretty much what they'd be.
As a whole. With so much drama in this space, it's no surprise to see why it's received in such a negative light.
Well, there's not always drama in the VTuber space. Uh, I think a lot of the negative reputation that people get from VTubers has to come with the whole anime aspect. Because let's face it, our models are pretty much anime characters. And if people have a preconception against anime, they're gonna have a preconception against VTubers also. So I don't know if that's really a dynamic shift, but definitely the whole Cinder drama did not help at all. Checking chairs, they are really remorseful. Right, right. I agree wholeheartedly with him. I'm hoping that Cinder takes his time to reflect on what she did this whole time she's been off streaming before she can write a popular apology. An apology that the people affected deserve, you know? But as for this take, though, right? A lot of what she's talking about, I think, comes with the misconception about anime in general and anime characters. Uh, I think that's where a lot of that comes from, what she's talking about.
Whenever a situation reaches its boiling point, it was already common that a Google Doc was written and posted for all of the internet to see. Typically, these documents gain traction, and whoever posts first has the advantage. You'd be surprised at how much people are willing to believe with only seeing one side of a story.
Now, yeah, Google Doc, right? Now, hearing this now, it made me think of something, right? Because we know how much of a boost everybody involved in the whole Cinder drama, except for Cinder, got on their channels, right? And I'm sure that was unintentional, right? She wasn't a sacrificial pawn or anything like that. But makes me wonder how many people, right, start VTubing for the sole purpose of being a sacrificial pawn for somebody, right? I know it's a twisted way of thinking. I probably shouldn't think that way. But I'm sure there are people that do, and I probably do this just for the drama clicks, you know? Like some of those news channels, they get major viewership from all the drama they cover. It's just a sad way of looking at things that just occurred to me.
All it takes is that call out, and the internet will resort
Right,
to
that
pretty
is so
terrible
true,
actions such as
that is so
name
true.
calling, death threats, and even attempts to destroy sponsorships of a creator that they don't like anymore.
Right.
However, since
That's
the
sad.
Cinder
Nobody should
situation,
do
I have
that.
seen a plethora of Google Docs be released. It's been unlike anything I've seen in this community so far. It's almost daily, if not multiple times.
Now, I think the only one that didn't really release a Google Doc was crap. Her name just blanked on me. Why can't I think of her name now? The Wellcat girl. I know her name. I just can't think of it. But anyway, she's on Shy Lily. I don't know why I spaced on the name, but I believe she's the one that didn't release a Google Docky. She released a statement, right? She released a very strongly worded statement, which is odd for Lily. Lily doesn't typically get involved with drama. She hates drama. But I believe she's the only one that didn't drop a Google Doc.
A day where a document gets posted and someone gets hurt. I want to stress that there is a time and place for Google Docs to be released. In my personal opinion, I think these types of documents should be reserved for the very serious situations where a crime is being committed. Or,
Right.
like in Cinder's case, where many reported her to be sabotaging opportunities from other
Right.
creators. There also needs to be a sufficient level of evidence to prove any claims
Right.
being made.
Always have
It is
receipts.
so dangerous to post accusations without some level of proof.
Right. And it's sad that people can just post whatever without proof and people believe it. That's just a sad state of things, not just in the VTuber sphere, but young life in general, even streaming. Streaming especially susceptible to this. Because everybody that does stuff like that to cause harm is doing it from the safety of somewhere else. And they don't care. Thank you for your movie. Right. We all had that same worry, Venom. Uh, we just do the best we can, not let it get to you. Because it's, I have nothing to hide, so it doesn't really bother me. But like in Cinder's case, right? What she did was bad, and everybody having receipts, right? Something like that helped their case, right? And they tried, according to Louis, they tried taking care of it behind closed doors for it got as bad as it did. But what I'm talking about is people that just drop fraudulent documents just to stir up drama or get somebody canceled. And people just believe in them without a shred of proof. That is so sad in this world we live in. And it affects streaming, not just VTubers, but streaming as a whole, because they're off safe somewhere else hiding. So they will never do that to their person's face, I guarantee it.
Unfortunately, these aren't the type of docs I've been seeing since Cinder's situation. VTubers have now grown comfortable airing personal drama between each other that
I don't know
honestly
if I would
should have
call
been handled in private.
comfortable.
I'm even seeing
I don't know if I would call it comfortable. I think not all of them, but I think maybe a few are doing it just for the extra clicks. But I wouldn't say they become comfortable doing it. I'm gonna say probably just a way to prove their points if they have actual receipts of wrongdoing. But like she's saying, everything should be trying to handle behind closed doors first, right? Only air if it becomes absolute necessity, right? Like that whole situation that we all know about. We've been talking about this whole time with Cinder. But something like that, though, that affected many artists, many creators, actually affected them. But people are just doing it for doing it sake.
seeing this between
No.
artists and their clients. You
Right,
have
right.
some VTubers deactivating their accounts after a witch hunt starts as a result of these pettier documents.
And I'd even go to say that there have been new and upcoming VTubers that have quit because of this. Have people that want to start VTubing, like yourself, are now taking second thoughts about not doing it. I would say my advice to you, Vinny, take it as a grain of salt because I'm new to VTubing also. Right? This is really only my second month doing this, so sorry. I would say if you really want to get into VTubing, go for it. Just try to steer clear of the drama as much as possible. Oh, definitely. There, I don't know if it's increased, but there's definitely more focus on it now than what there used to be. More people are reporting on it now than what there used to be. Right? Then you got people like Sean Piker that actively targeting VTubers. Right? And someone as big as Hassan, he's hard to fight, especially if you're like new or whatever. Uh, I know stuff like that can be scary. But if you really want to take the step to actually VTubing, right? I would say go for it. And if it's not for you, then hey, you tried, right? You know, not everybody makes it in this business. I don't know if I ever will make it. I'm just doing it for fun to have a good time. Uh, I'm trying to avoid all that drama, really. I tried watching a thing on Johnny Somali that I even reacted to. That video made me physically ill from all the stuff that was in it. It was way over the top. I'm thinking about actually taking it down off my channel. But I'm trying to steer clear of all the drama, basically. Just trying to have a good time, trying to provide a safe, comfortable entertaining space for my viewers and my community. Uh,
This
I just hope
situation
things
has
work
now
out, you know?
emboldened creators to think that any grievance they have must be shared in this way, when in reality, it's causing way more harm than good.
Right.
Reality
It
is,
is.
not everyone will like you. You're going to make
It's
mistakes,
true.
and the bonds you create with people.
It's true. You can't make everybody happy. No matter how hard you try, you can't make everybody happy. Best thing you can do is focusing on doing what you enjoy doing. Right. You do that and you be real about it, right? do what you do, and people who share the same interest will join you. Uh, and in my case, I hope that we're all part of the same community with Ember. You know, and being part of a community like that made it to where I felt comfortable actually starting VTubing because I knew that there was a community of people in the strays that would always have my back no matter what. And that's something that you have too, Venom, right? So just keep that in mind.
Will have its ups and downs. It's up to you to be mature enough to communicate. It's only when you've exhausted all options when you should even consider going public. Making an
True,
issue
very true.
public is far more than just outwardly venting. You're getting anyone and everyone
Right.
who reads your words involved in some capacity.
Right. And that also brings you up to everybody putting their opinions in on it. Always picking sides. Oh, customer service, that's rough. I mean, you had to deal with all kinds of people. Right. Oh, that's sad. You don't. I know what it's like to be in that position. Right, right. No, it sounds like they, you already have a good base for handling people, so hey, go for it.
What happened in the VTuber community in April of 2025 was awful. Many people were hurt as a result, but it had a further ripple effect. I've seen plenty of posts of creators saying that they've lost trust, that they're scared to make friends now in fear of being backstabbed. Some are even considering.
Now, I understand where she's coming from, how some people are afraid, and that's a valid concern. But if it's really what those people want to do, they need to get past or push past it, push past the fear, find some people that you can truly trust. Granted, and not everybody like Cinder. Cinder is like an outlier. That is not the VTuber community as a whole. For the most part, what I've seen, the VTuber community, no matter if you're an indie or one of the corpos, right, they're all pretty decent to each other. Cinder was just an outlier, really.
Their current friendships and wondering if there's something going on. Not all creators are creating Google Docs that aren't necessary, but a lot of them
True.
are, and it's further harming everyone else.
Very
I'm
true.
afraid that this event is going to have a much bigger impact than any of us could have predicted.
She's right, they could have. I like the Mel Shadow. You're like a Mel Shadow? That'd be awesome to see. Right, right, right. I feel the same way. I try to always stand up for my friends too, you know. But what she was saying here, right? It can get out of control if people keep doing it, right? If they can't control their impulses to jump on the Docky bandwagon. It will get worse. People have to control those impulses and stop airing their dirty laundry every time something doesn't go their way.
Urge you, if you're a creator, please give each other some grace and patience. If you exhaust all your options and have to create a Google Doc, then I get it. But if you haven't talked to the other party and tried to settle things privately,
right.
That's the first thing you should do. The
True,
world
very
is
true.
already hard enough as it is. We
Very
do
true.
not need to make it worse by being at each other.
Very true. And we're all here for the same reason. VTubing or streaming in general, right? Being here with everybody in the communities, right? This is our escape from that harsh reality. This is our time to relax and enjoy ourselves, right? And that's what it's all about. Having a good time, hanging out with uh, friends. I guess you call us friends, or community friends, or family, or whatever you want to call us, you know. I like to think of you guys as my friends. I really do. Even though we may not really know each other, but that's also part of the fun too, getting to know each other, right? Getting to know each other and becoming true friends in a sense. Even though we don't physically meet, we still become the best of friends through the internet like this. And I'm agreeing with a lot with what she's saying. I'm digging her point of view on this. And I hope that her words get traction. Because people do need to stop dropping those Google Docs that drop my hat.
Their throats. I hope the VTubing community can recover and the amount of call out posts, subtweeting, and documents will subside over time. The more documents there are, the less people will take them seriously, and you want those big situations to be considered with the utmost seriousness and care. It's like the boy who cried wolf. We don't want to let a serious, even criminal situation.
Hey, she's 100% right here. Sorry about that. I had a hitch in my throat. But she's 100% right here. The more people flood the market with bogus Google Docs, right? It's just gonna make like the next big Cinder like situation that comes across seem like another petty attempt for clout or whatever they're doing it for. So I 100% agree with that. And that should only be as a last resort if nothing else works. But I'm of the personal belief, though, that it still could have been handled better. I felt like, I know the artist felt like she did what she had to do, and I understand that. But always try your best to try to uh, take care of the stuff before it gets out of hand or to where you have no other choice to do the best you can.
Situation slide because we're so exhausted with all of the little petty things we've seen.
Very true.
It might seem bleak right now, but I assure you there are amazing creators in this community too. People who want to see you succeed and genuinely offer their support. Talented creators who have so much great things to offer. I truly hope all of you find people to connect with and trust. A little kindness can go such a long way. Thank you so much for listening. I'm not a drama creator, so please don't subscribe for that reason. This video is definitely an outlier compared to my normal stuff. But
no, I wouldn't call it now. I was saying you're a breath of fresh air, Noxaura. I really enjoyed your video. I hope your words catch traction. I really do.
But if you do like VTubing content, art, or just gacha games, that's what I tend to do, and you can find many videos on these topics. Until next time.
I really liked her message. I really did. I wish more people were voicing stuff like this. I'm gonna give her a subscribe and like. I really enjoyed that. I did. Yes, it was a good message. And that was a breath of fresh air that the community, the PTV community really needed, especially in these uncertain times. The main thing is we do not want life to be any harder, especially when we're trying to enjoy our lives, enjoy our free time. Let me see what we got now.